Hello there! So today we are at SeaWorld because they have an inside look of sort of a backstage look of O Wondrous Night, which is their show of the story of the baby Jesus. And the way that they tell it through that show is with puppets and live animals. So we are going to be able to get to see an inside look of sort of how that show goes on.
All right, Jamie, you ready?
I'm ready. Good afternoon, SeaWorld Pass members. How y'all doing? You're gonna have to do a little bit better than that. We invited you to a private party. How you doing this afternoon? Good. Thank you for being here today. We're so excited to share this quick behind-the-scenes experience with you all. Merry Christmas, by the way. Hope you're having a good season so far. My name is Jamie Johnson. I'm privileged to be the Vice President of Entertainment here at SeaWorld, and I work with the best team in the industry. You're going to get to see a lot of them. But our goal tonight, it's been 9 years since we opened O Wondrous Night, and it's a fan favorite. Who considers himself a super fan of O Wondrous Night? Me too. Secret, truth be told, I brought my family here the year before I took this job, waited for an hour and a half, and did not get in. So I said, I guess I'll just apply to be Vice President of Entertainment. I can go watch it whenever I want. But we just want you to know how much we appreciate our past members. You are our family. We do what we do for you all. We do it for our animals and our past members. And today is just a little way to say thank you. I do want to set the expectation because you know how popular the show is. After our brief presentation in here, you see a little bit of what we do behind the scenes. You won't have to walk or anything. It's really easy. We're going to show you. We do need to clear the house super quickly to prepare for the queue for the 4 o'clock show. So you'll just help us and I'll be outside if you want to talk or ask any specific questions. But what we're going to do right now is show you the opening sequence of the show, which you're very familiar with. When this is our Austrian curtain, that moment when the music starts, you get excited because you know it's about to happen. But rather than not hearing the cues, there's a whole body of work going on, both in our booth, in our spot bays, and backstage with folks on radio. And they are giving cues, they're communicating with each other to make sure that our cast and crew are safe. So what we're gonna do the whole opening sequence without you'll be able to hear all the cues, which is very fascinating because it's its own language and it's awesome. But we're also gonna strategically leave some curtains up so that you can see how they get that barn installed within seconds. Does that sound good? Yeah. Don't tell anybody. Kelly's our stage manager. I'll hand it over to you. Have fun.
Thanks, Jamie. All right, stand by for opening. Just a reminder, we are not rolling pre-roll, just opening. Through the barn scene transition. Rolling. Clear for Austrian out and start a second position.
Clear it. Clear left.
Thank you. Austrian is moving. Star is moving.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, with all our hearts we praise his holy name. On your knees, oh hear the angel voices,
Clear for Star and Crystals out.
Clear it. Clear left.
Thank you. Star and Crystals are moving.
angels sing glory to
Standby spots, rating 1 and 4, half body, 75% intensity, 3 count fade up on your soloist. Spot 1 on the female, spot 2 on the male. Those are your primary targets for the show. Spots, go. Standby spots on the 3 count house to 60% intensity. Spots, go. Standby spots on the 3 count house to 40% intensity.
Clear for blue, black, and roof to come in.
Clear right. Good left.
Thank you. Blue and roof are moving.
Spots, go. Clear for barn roof to come all the way in.
Clear right.
Clear left.
Barn roof moving. Barn roof complete.
Clear for blue out.
Clear right.
Clear left.
Thank you. Stand by tree to move downstage. Blue's moving.
Give that a round of applause.
Can we set for finale?
They're going to
Yes.
start setting for finale. So guys, anyone who loves our shows or loves shows anywhere that you go, of course you love the cast, the animals, right? It's amazing they're on stage. But we have so many more people to thank than that. Our technical crew, our costuming crew are phenomenal. Give them a huge round of applause. Best team in the industry. So any show you go to, whether it's at Shamu Stadium, Dolphin, turn around to the booth and give them a round of applause too, because they do such incredible work. And for this Christmas season, because we have so much product going on at the same time, the folks that are running the show are probably running your spotlights at Winter Wonderland on Ice that same night, running across the park back and forth to make sure we get to experience. So one more round of applause for this amazing team of professionals. They are awesome. So we're setting right now for finale because I hear a little rumor that y'all like to learn a little bit more about our animals that are in the show. So we're going to spend the last couple of minutes with them. But I want to give you some stats in case you're curious. You're probably very aware that there are 18 members of the cast that are on stage. The backstage technical crew, these guys that you see, there are 5 for every show. In the house, between our spotlights and our booth, there's another 5 people. There are 2 costume support folks that are at every single show. They helped set this scene. You probably saw them helping with the puppets. A little known fact is that they're on stage practically the whole time. Costume changes are hidden behind the barn, and the costume support people are hidden on stage. Most of the show you don't even know, which is super cool. I had no idea until I watched it backstage. Back in that barn, there are 9 animal trainers needed for every show to make the nativity scene happen. Isn't that crazy? There's 9 of them. And then pre-production, there's 1 director, obviously, to open the show. We have a separate choreographer, a vocal coach, and a puppet trainer who's a professional puppet trainer to make sure that those silly moments are as world-class as we can make them. Isn't that awesome? Super privileged to be a part of this team and make these shows happen. So we're gonna bring out, as soon as we can, some of the animal team led by Crystal, who is our manager of this project. She also works on Pets Ahoy. Who's a fan of Pets Ahoy? Me too. Come on out, Crystal. Give her a round of applause.
We're going for the finale, right? Hi, Hi everybody, I'm Crystal, one of the trainers here at O Wondrous Night. How's everybody doing tonight? Awesome, we're so glad that you guys could join us. So we want to talk a little bit about and introduce you a little more intimately with some of our four-legged stars here. So we're going to give the crew just another moment to get kind of set for the finale scene, which is what our animals are used to. And then once that's in place, we'll kind of introduce you to some of our more outgoing stars that you might not have seen in person. Has everyone here seen the show before? Yes. Yes, absolutely. And are you coming back tonight to join us? Yes. Wonderful. That's what we like to hear. All right, well, I think we are very close to being set. So we're gonna go ahead and start by introducing our Zebus. If you'll look over here to stage right. All right, so here we have Belle and her little friend and understudy, Bambi. Now you'll notice an obvious size difference here. Both are Zebus, but Bambi here is a miniature Zebu. So she's only 3 years old, but she's actually almost full grown. She's only gonna get to be about 2 inches taller. She's obviously very intrigued by you. Now Belle here, she's been doing the show for about 8 years. She's 9 years old and she is a seasoned pro. So she is very accustomed to this already. So next up, if you actually look, coming through the aisle here, we've got Handsome, our llama. Don't worry, he won't spit on you. Now, Handsome, he's very prideful and statuesque, as you can see. He also can be very inquisitive, and he loves to meet absolutely everybody. So he can be seen doing our meet and greets, the show, and then also he makes debuts in our Three Kings performance as well. Say hi, Handsome. All right, now last up, we have, if everybody will look to your right, coming out of the tunnel, we'll have Maddie. Now Maddie is our 1,800-pound dromedary camel. She is the second camel in the procession of the Three Kings during the finale portion of the show. Now Maddie's been doing this for several years as well. She is roughly 14 years old, and she is a sweetheart. Now, one of the common questions that we get about her is, what kind of camel is she and how can you tell the difference? Well, I'm gonna give you guys a little tip to be able to tell the difference between camels. So if you notice, Maddie here has one hump. And as I said, she's a dromedary camel. So just like there's a D with one hump in dromedary, the other type is Bactrian, which there is a B, so 2 humps. So now you'll kind of see, anytime you see one with 2 humps, it's a Bactrian camel, and one is a dromedary. So another question that's very common for them is, well, how far can they spit? So Maddie here was gonna do a little demonstration for you. Now, Ops, you guys told them when they came in, if you're in the first 5 rows, you're in our splash zone, right? All right, so is everybody ready? You have your smocks, you're ready to go, umbrellas? Okay, 1, 2, I'm just kidding, it's okay. No, Maddie doesn't spit. She's very, very sweet. But she does do this really kind of strange thing called regurgitating. So I heard some of you obviously know what that is. It is this yummy process where she will take all the hay and grass that she's previously eaten up from her stomach and chew it in her mouth a little more to kind of grind it down, break it down, make it more easily digestible, and also to help her get more nutrients out of it. So although it's a little gross to us, it's very vital for the camels. All right, so now that you've kind of met some of these guys a little more intimately, shall we say, we want to talk to you a little bit about the training process. So obviously a lot goes into the show. You guys just saw a sneak peek of just a little bit of the behind the scenes that the techs do to prep everything for the show. Well, the animals go through a process as well. Now, about 10 months out of the year, these guys, they hang out at a farm very close here to SeaWorld, and they are living their best lives. They are on a 10-month vacation. So sign me up. Now they're taken care of by their trainers year-round. They'll feed them, walk them, bathe them, groom them, hang out with them, and most of the time these guys are just kind of romping around playing with their, fellow co-stars. But one thing that the trainers also do during their time at the farm is they make sure that they build very special, very trusting bonds with these animals. It's a relationship that's really important to us, and it's vital to their training. That trusting relationship allows us to do a process called desensitization. So desense is just a fancy way of basically saying we slowly introduce them to things that they wouldn't maybe see at the farm, that are a little unique to them, in a way that's comfortable for them, that they can accept that. So as you see, a couple of our trainers here have brought out some of those unique things. One would be the robes here that the actors wear. So they'll just kind of walk around and kind of show that to them. Next would be these somewhat lifelike puppets, right? So it could be very strange to these animals that would never see that at the farm. When they're comfortable with these things, we'll layer other things in, such as the lighting, the music that you hear in the show, the rest of the cast, and finally, well, you guys, the audience. Once we are completely comfortable that they are confident around these things and they enjoy being there, then you get the final product, basically, and what you see in show. So thank you guys once again for joining us, and we hope to see you again tonight. Bye, guys.
Good job, Shannon.
Just a big round of applause for this incredible animal team and our beautiful animals.
Thank you.
Off-street moving.
What'd you think? Cool, huh? Super fantastic. So obviously the animal team works year-round to make sure the show takes place, but our production team does as well. And in the interest of time, just to make sure everyone's able to, if you're going to join us for the 4 o'clock to get in line right away, we're going to dismiss, but I'm going to be out there to answer any questions about our shows. Guys, we want you to know again, we love and appreciate you. Our past members mean everything to us, and we listen to your feedback. So we encourage you, if you like something or you want something to be a little different, send it to us, because I promise we read every single note. So we'll see you soon. Merry Christmas. We'll see you outside. Thanks, everybody.
So that is a pretty cool inside look. If you're like me, you're into theater, hearing those cues to kind of hear what's going on backstage or on stage is awesome. I can tell you, when you are in theater, when you are in a show, everything seems like it's going absolutely crazy backstage, and those guests don't get to see that. So it was great to hear that. It was also cool to hear how they sort of train the animals to be ready to be on stage after their 10-month hiatus. Not only did SeaWorld do that this month for their pass holders, but they also gave us a Christmas ornament for our Christmas tree. It's just a little orca to hang on our Christmas tree. It's gonna go with our sloth from last year from Busch Gardens, and then we have to head over to Busch Gardens and pick the one up there so that we have those for our Christmas trees. So it is the end of our night. I am in the car, you can see, because I have to go put this on my Christmas tree. So that means it's time for me to go watch out for free-range grandmas. So bye, guys.
Thank you.